What's happening? It's your boy coming at you on Game Chopping TV. This is the spot where we chop it all the way up. Media, news, hip-hop, what's really going on in the streets, and of course, live gaming. We break down stories, talk culture, and keep the conversation moving. And when I ain't talking about it, I'm in the chair racing, shooting, grinding, live and uncut so you can vibe with me. Hit that subscribe, tap.
What it do? Welcome to another one over here, Game Chopping TV. Tap in, like, comment, and subscribe, because we are chopping this game over here, man. Had to tap into this one, man. So, and I don't know if I could do this or not, but I'm going to give it a shot. This is actually a report from TMZ about the Nolan Wells case, the mysterious situation here. And, you know, and this, I guess it's like an update of saying what's going on and things like that. But to me, then the chemistry between these two guys are very interesting to me. And I want to bust that down and break that down. Let's get into this. And there's a lot, I haven't been covering a lot of stuff, but I am certain things it makes me have to jump in this because I need to say something. Let's get my perspective. Fair use, by the way. Fair use. Let's check this out.
That has surfaced in the Nolan Wells case that seems to support what we were told by sources directly with direct knowledge of the investigation, that after Nolan's friends left on their boat at 4:30, that Nolan remained at the island. And in fact, there was one report that claimed that he was there as late as 6 o'clock, still on the island. This new video.
See, my thing is to, it's always like they say, like I keep hearing too, and like when all of your friends go somewhere, that's the main thing is you all come back together. When has there ever been a rule of, hey, if someone wants to wander off with bum heck whoever, let them? You know what I'm saying? Where does it, if I know me myself, I would be like this, like, hey, if you came out there with me, but woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? But hey, let's call your parents and let's let them know the decision that you're making first, dude. Because if anything goes down, I'm the one that's responsible. So no, let's get this straight with your folks first before, no, because look. As far as they know, you came, to go to this boating ride or whatever they were doing, party, whatever, but hey, we're supposed to all come back together. What is this, even if the person is tweaking, no, I just never seen, and then they're talking about the boat filled up. It's just, dude, come on, man, let's continue, though.
It shows the boat that Nolan's friends were on when they left the island. This is the boat that Nolan arrived at Horn Island on July 4th.
Same friends. Seven people, which is what we heard them describe on the call to the tow company. And they are all on the boat there. This is as they are trying to get it started. And there's no Nolan in sight.
Right. And the 7 people you can see on the...
How are you guys that comfortable with leaving your friend? Good grief, was it a friend or not? I mean, let's man, come on here. We're sitting up here playing around here all of a sudden. These guys are sitting here, they're fine and dandy, doing what they're doing after leaving a friend or whatever. Come on here, after leaving a friend, you're that comfortable? And then, what, his phone was with them, I think, or something, too? What kind of nonsense is this, man? And then the people that were there, dude, I'd have been out, man. If like this, dude, if there's no foul play, you'll confidently spill whatever happened to all these little secretive interviews and talking, dude. I'd have made YouTube videos, Facebook videos, and everything declaring my innocence and all this stuff. I'd say, look, this is what happened. If we all know that, dog, it was solid stuff that happened. Look, this is exactly what happened. This happened, and this happened, man. I didn't touch them. None of that. These people, we don't know. No. It's almost like something happened, and you guys all know, but you don't want to say. You know what I'm saying? Because it's either you didn't report it when you should have, you know, or if something went too far, it shouldn't have went to the point where you have to report anything anyway. Something, it smells too. I smell too much doggone funk. If you ask me, all this nonsense, man.
And Nolan is not one of them.
And I think it's important to say, and you said it, but I want to reinforce it. That's at the beginning of the trip, so it's not as if
this is at the end of the day. This is 4:30 in the afternoon.
I'm sorry, at the beginning of the trip home, so that it's not like.
So that's the beginning of the trip home. And look how confident they. I mean, you know, dog. What you feel that safe, even though you just left your friend. Hold on, you feel that safe even though you just left a so-called friend behind? I mean, yeah, come on here, man. How do you... It seems, man, dude, it's like, hey, we're all YT again. It's all good. It's all lovely. What kind of crap, dude? That's and the YT guy here. This is why the chemistry here is interesting here. He's all in it. Oh, yeah, look, Nolan's not there. And then he got caught. No, because that's not at the beginning of the trip. That's at the end of the trip. That's at the end. And then he's not there? I mean, come on, man. Who leaves a real friend like that and just be so nonchalantly just doing what they're doing like they're doing? It's like they got rid of who they didn't want to be there, in my opinion, but...
Like the boat's in the middle of the water, and that something may have happened in between. This is as they're leaving.
Yes, they knew that they had a problem as they were leaving. It's part of the reason they were rushing. We've heard his friend Warren describe that they were yelling at him, "Come on, get on the boat." So,
I mean, the only point I want to make it is that it's not like the boat had traveled for 10 minutes and something could have happened in the 10 minutes. It's right at Horn Island where you see this video.
Right.
I think they were fatigued. It was one of those moves. They were fatigued. I don't know. It was foul play. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't, dude, good Lord, it just smells too much. I smell too much. This smells funny to me, man. Smells funny. I don't care. It smells funny, man. Those were some very irresponsible friends of his, as if you're, BLK, because look, all the rest of them came back in one piece. They all came back intact. The black guy, he was out. He was just trash. They left him to, sink or swim, fend for itself. It seems like.
So eventually they get the boat started and they get towed for a while, and then they end up going back to the mainland.
So this is really relevant because a lot of people think that his friends that he went with.
I mean, they got rid of him. Sheesh, what do you mean? They showed back up like nothing's wrong without him. That's what this showed. Yeah, you showed up back up with him, nothing's wrong without him.
In some way are hiding something that may have happened in their presence with Nolan.
And the audio from that phone.
They have to be, because, dude, if that's one thing about it. If you're not guilty of something, you have no problem, explaining. You'll be you're more than glad to explain. You're not running from explaining. What they think, what? Man, look, no, I'm about to, what I'm saying? No, now you might, after somebody see this video, they might try to pump fake and act like, oh yeah, no, but you see they didn't do it from the jump. They haven't been doing it, to the date of this video, they haven't been doing it. It's been very fishy. So, in case somebody tries to act like they're, after seeing this video, like they're trying to, but anyway. But no, that's what when you know, if you know your hands wasn't in something, dog, you have a clear conscience. You don't got you want to explain. Just say, yo, look, hey, this is what it is. But it's something, whatever happened, they feel like it'll fall back on them. Even, you know what I'm saying? Even if they didn't unalive him themselves, it's like they know something that they feel like will still, bring them in, or get them in trouble. That's what I'm saying. So it's not, they may, I don't know, they may not have physically done anything, but they know something that they don't want, that they know will get them in trouble because they should have reported something sooner, basically. Or they shouldn't have done something, or they shouldn't have allowed somebody to do something. You see what I'm saying? In my opinion, man, I mean, I'm just saying, because this is, look at this. But, I'm just speaking because, I see an injustice here, and, we got to definitely bring things to the light.
Call that was made to the tow company certainly added to that made people, because some people think they hear a reference to Nolan, and they think they hear a reference to him being dead.
That footage was actually,
but he's not on that boat.
But he's not
was,
from this video. At this point, when this video is shot, Nolan is not on that boat.
Which is consistent with what we had heard.
And then we also know that the police have spoken to people and have either video or photos that show that Nolan was still on Horn Island after 4:30. Now, I've been saying all along, the main thing is, if his friends leave at 4:30, who were the people who were with Nolan after that? Because
so let's be honest then. Who's friends my foot? It's that's what it's like. Friends my foot. Because so you're his friends, but you trust to leave him off with some strangers or stranger. Then there's a story of, this Katie girl or whatever, and then she's denying any interaction with him, basically. And then the friends are acting like it was more interaction than what she's saying. So now it's between them two. So does she know that maybe she didn't do something, but does she know who did something? Or is she just telling the truth and I wasn't, and they're the ones, see what I'm saying? So it's foul play between them two right there, and we can exclude her because, hey, he came with those guys, and those guys are the ones that's kicking out all these excuses. Hold on.
They were gonna have the answer.
That's right, and there were a lot of people on the island.
A lot of people
there. It was the 4th
there.
of July.
There was the girl named Katie, who, we heard Nolan's mom say that she spoke to Katie, but Katie said that she saw Nolan, but sort of a hi-bye in passing thing. Now, that's not how their friend Warren described it, but
I don't know.
If it's not Katie, there were other people who were there.
There were a lot of people.
And so who is going to the police? We now know from a document from the Department of Marine Resources in Mississippi. This was a document, ABC News obtained this, but it shows what they told searchers when they were going out searching for Nolan. And
so, you see that? That's just, like I say, what kind of friends are those? Friends, how, where, how? Heck, sheesh. Katie seems to be she's probably more legit than those guys as far as in telling the truth on what happened that night. Heck, now isn't that something if she is? Because he made it seem like he blamed it all on her. Like, hey, they probably was mad because he interacted with her and possibly had, or whatever. And, that could be it too. He may have been getting the women, or, you just never know. You just never know.
There were witnesses who described Nolan.
A lot of these guys, they be really angry about, black dudes and stuff like that. I'm telling you, it's real. It's real. It ain't besides some fatigue stuff. They're taught like funny. They're taught in bad ways. They have a lot of them have a bad upbringing.
So now we know there were definitely people who saw him and said that they described him as having a lot of alcohol that day.
So
He was drinking heavily.
Heavy alcohol intake that day. Now, I don't
So
know.
what they're trying to say about that is just like he just got so drunk he plopped in the water and just, drifted off into the water. And that's the way they're trying to make it seem. if you let these, they're making excuses now. Like, oh, he was so heavily intoxicated, like he just dropped into the water and unalived himself.
How much? I understand that could be relevant depending on when we find out from the coroner how he actually died. So it could be relevant there. I don't think it's not a big newsflash to me. We spoke to a friend who was out there. He told us that the kids were drinking.
Well, but
we've heard multiple, and also
I think
it's 4th of July.
But there's a difference.
What are 18 and 19-year-olds doing on an island?
They're drinking heavily. But they hadn't used the word heavily until now. And look, the reality of the word heavily is that if somebody falls overboard, that drowning is probably more of a possibility.
I also think that word heavily is incredibly subjective.
It is.
So
yeah, but you know what?
Someone described to the police as heavily.
So yeah, that's what this guy is really trying to do, is lay it on thick as if he's just so intoxicated that he just plopped over somewhere in the water and drowned. That's what that's where he's going with it. This guy right here. But man, dog, friend's my foot, dude. Like I say, if you know what happened, and you're not a part, if you're not hiding nothing, you would just tell what happened, dude. And I just don't think something smells funny, dude. How are they friends? Something smells funny to me, man.
May not have been that big of a deal. I'm just saying it is too early to say whether or not him having alcohol, which is not, again, if you ask me, did I think Nolan was drinking that day? Of course he was. Do I think that it had anything to do with what happened to him? I just don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Nobody does.
But here's what I think. That when you say that witnesses said he was drinking heavily, the big thing that I'd like to know is, are they basing it on how many drinks they saw him consume or his conduct? And those are two very different things.
Yes.
That if somebody is just falling down drunk, that's different than saying he had 3 or 4 drinks.
My thing too then, hold on. My thing is, which one is it? Because if you see your friend out there that didn't have just way too many drinks, are you going to leave your friend on the beach like that? That's just that sloppy drunk? Like that, how does that make any sense? It doesn't. It just doesn't. But that just go to show, boy, you just gotta really be careful, man, because like I say, how are those friends of his? I don't know. It's crazy work, but that's my take on it, man. It's foul play. I think it's foul play. It's another one over here, Game Chopping TV. Tap in, like, comment, and subscribe, because we chopping this game over here, man.